welcome to SCNC. We're here at Bab's Pizza, and we're going to be interviewing some people about how to make pizza.
We have a 1 pound 8 to 1 pound 9 ounce dough, and we put a little extra flour on it, and we have a dough sheeter. You put this in the dough sheeter, and it comes out just a little bit flatter, and that helps to take out some of the air bubbles that are in here, because you're always going to get some air bubbles in the pizza, and that's why you see them in slices, little bubbles here and there. And then if we wanted to, we could run it back through and make it even flatter, but for our process, this is all we need to do. Then next, what we have to do is, when they're cold, they don't roll out quite as easy. You notice it's a large rolling pin, it's real heavy, that helps it. Then I'll make this extra big. Large pure. This is called a peeler. It's wooden. Next step we do is we take a little semolina and we throw it on top of the peeler. And the purpose of this is so that when we put the pizza pie on here, it doesn't stick to the board. As you can see, these are cold, so what happens is the pie tends to shrink up as it's sitting there. Now normally what we do is we have to fling it a little bit, but this is so thin I don't even have to do it. So it just goes right on top of the peeler. And then the next phase is the olive oil. This helps to make it cook evenly, and that the toppings that you put on don't absorb too much into the dough as it's cooking. Okay. Now we're going to put some marinara sauce on it, and I've got to get some spoons. Get the pizza out, and also rotate it sometimes, because the ovens don't always cook evenly all the way through. So you check it, and then you just kind of spin the pizza around a little bit. So if you want, you can cut that off while we wait for it to cook. So this thing has to be, there's two stabilizers here, and in the back there's a tab. And if you don't have them in, then this thing wiggles around. So that's one batch right there.
So about how heavy is that with the dough in it?
Well, here, grab one in. Pretty heavy. So that's, go ahead.
Whoa, that is heavy.
So this is why we usually just make one batch at a time, because it's hard to get out. I mean, this is heavy for me, but if you have 3 batches in here, they would take 2 people to lift it up and work on it. So show them. What we're going to do is, you can come around where Sadie's at right there, and you can see what we're going to do next. We'll take a little flour and we'll throw it right in there. And what happens is it helps it to stop sticking as you're pulling it out, because she's got to work at this in order to get it out.
And this is so heavy
that
that
pull hard.
when it's just us girls here, we can't do this. We have to actually take it out while it's on the mixer. Okay. And I'll go look for your cutter.
So how many pizzas does that make?
I'm not sure.
It should make 15.
How do we weigh them?
1.8 or a little between 1 and Sadie, we flour the dough,
Okay.
which is very different than what you did.
Yeah, we oiled it.
And the reason we flour it is because it's going in this.
So what we do is we just kind of make a guess on about the approximate size, and we set this to 0. We put it on, and see right there it's 1.14. So we just snip a little bit off. There's 110, 1.9 3/8, so just a little bit more. Might have to put some back on. It's 1.8 1/4, which is all right. They like a little bit bigger, so I'll just do that. And then we kind of fold. If you have little pieces like that left over, if you put it in there loose, then when you fold them together, the yeast makes them rise together as one whole thing. And I put just a little bit of flour on it, because if you don't, this will get wet and sticky towards the end of the day. And then we just leave them out here for a little bit until we get them all cut up. And that's pretty much the process. And normally you'll get at least 15 doughs for pizza, sometimes 16. And then we have any left over while we're going to be making another batch. Our medium pizzas are half the weight, so we make a couple of medium bags because a lot of people come in. And we also make garlic knots and garlic sticks. And so I don't know if you ever had them before. It's just pizza dough with garlic flavoring on it. So everything is always used, all the little pieces and stuff. So Sadie is gonna finish up on making those. And if you guys have any questions? That was really thin. I rolled it out too thin.
We might have to fire him and hire somebody who can make it better. Actually, Neil, I think it's done.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put it right over here.
Kind of came out a little oblong, but this is our slicer.
And then Neil told you what we do. We do slicers where we keep the cheese so we can put whatever toppings you want when you come in.
And then the last process is the semolina burns in the oven, so you got to constantly clean the semolina out.
So pretty.
Do you have time to sit down and have a piece of pizza?
Yeah.
If you want to just take a slice.
You got a cutter there?
I do.
All right. There's two kinds of cutters. We're pretty much used to the roller type. And then this is
You're gonna have to come back and
another
take a better picture.
type cutter. But actually, a lot of times you can do it faster because it's the whole width of the pan. It's kind of like a hash knife style knife.
This is amazing.
And that's the end of this week's news.